Good. So I just want to do a quick recap of last week's class. Got it. A quick recap of host disabled participant screen sharing. Can you enable me to share screen, Annie? Can you please enable me to share my screen?
Yes, I have done.
You've done it?
Yes, mom.
Because they are saying that, let me see. Let me go back there. Okay, good. Thank you. So, beautiful. Yeah, so once more, welcome to this special class lesson of today, which is going to still be on personal development. And we are all about understanding growth. Let me know if you can see my screen, please. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see.
Yes, mom.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So we are still about personal development. And like last week, we went through a few aspects of personal development. We have to define what is personal development, why you must grow as a leader. We went into defining growth, and then life lessons to note about growth. Now, I realized that I said we were going to do growth gap and keys growth. But while I was working with life lessons, I realized there was so much around life lessons, around growth, which we needed to explore. And I am not just in a haste to move us to the next thing when we have not yet gotten what we need to get, because there are some important aspects of these lessons of growth, life lessons around growth, that we need to grab them, and we had 5 key lessons around growth, which I think we explored 3 last week, which is we said that growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow will get better than today. That's the only assurance you have about a better tomorrow. The only assurance you have about a better tomorrow is that you are growing. Because if you really don't grow, I'm telling you, there's no guarantee for a better tomorrow. So that was one of the key lessons, life lessons around growth, which we learned, that growth is the only guarantee that your tomorrow will be better than today. And we went further to explain what growth was all about. We said growth means change, and change is difficult. Change is not easy. Yes, of course, change is not an easy thing, but that's the only constant thing in life. That's the only thing that will guarantee that your life gets better if you do not change. So we said things will really never change for you unless you change. I believe that you got the lesson of last week real good. And we talked about 3 things that you needed to understand about change: learning, unlearning, and real. So I don't know if you guys got this well, if you understood it, but I'm hoping, and I know that if there's anything you don't understand, you have the right to, put it on the WhatsApp group so that we can further explain if you don't understand anything about this learning, unlearning, and relearning. We talked about this last week. And then we also said growth is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. Successful people are growing. They are growing people. Then they're never arriving. They're not arrived. They are growing. So unsuccessful people are those ones that tell you, you know what, we have arrived, and things like that. We talked about even about some people that deteriorate when they go on retirement, as if retirement means that go and die. No, that was just, for people who know what it means to grow, retirement is the beginning of real life to them. And that's when they embark on their life's mission, which is the most important thing around your life, the reason why you are living. So there are some key things around life that you need to understand them, so that, when you understand, you know what is priority for you. When you don't understand, you will find yourself everywhere, burning out energy, losing energy left and right, doing some things that are adding just little or no value to your life. So there are so many good reasons to pursue personal growth. This is where I want to continue those. So many good reasons to pursue personal growth. And personal growth opens doors. It makes us better. It helps us to achieve our career goals. And over time, it creates momentum in our lives that in turn encourages us to grow even more. There are so many advantages about growing. When you grow, you will start to enjoy it. You will discover as we are going down many, many, many good reasons. And we said that, okay, so we ended with growth. Amongst the life lessons we're learning around growth. Last week, we said that growth is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. So this week, I want us to explore another powerful lesson around growth. For growth to be maximized, it must be strategic. For growth to be maximized, it must be strategic. We said growth is the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. So that was where we ended last week. I hope we got that. And if we don't have any question from that last week's explanation of growth, I will continue right now with, for growth to be maximized, it must be strategic. For us to maximize growth, we must be strategic with our growth, and the biggest and most important project that you will ever take in your own life is this growth, personal development. On your own life, it is personal development to grow you. That's the biggest, that's the most important project. You may think that maybe you have a building project going on, blah, blah, blah going on. Let me tell you, the most important project is you, your own life. So, because if you do not design your own life, you don't design a plan around your own life, the chances are that you will fall into someone else's plan. And guess what? They don't have much for you. You fall in other people's plan, their plan doesn't offer much for you. They don't offer much for you. So the best plan that you will ever have is a plan of your own life. And this question we often ask, what, if you have a personal development plan, what is your personal development plan? So that's why we are talking about strategic growth. If you must maximize it, it has to be strategic. For that reason, you need to be intentional and very, very strategic to be able to maximize your growth. So we're going to look at 4 key elements that you must note as you strategize your growth. So as we look through, you're going to understand what it means to be strategic in growth. So we start with the first key element is the big picture. The big picture. And when we talk about the big picture, we are looking at what? Where do I need to focus my growth, for instance? Where do I need to focus I need to grow, yes. But is it just in everything? If I say I want to grow now, and I go now and take a mathematics teacher, be teaching me maths. I mean, like, where am I going to in maths right now? Are we together? Where do I need to focus my growth? So you must understand. And that's why I really, really, really appreciate all of you who are in this course. Because for some reason, you looked around your life, you are strategizing. There are many courses out there people are taking, but you made a decision that you want to do this course of marriage counseling. It means in your mind, there is something you are looking at, and because somebody would have said, okay, for instance, Mabia, whom I know better here, she's a teacher. she's a teacher. Should have just like, okay, I'm a teacher. Maybe I'm teaching biology. So what am I doing with counseling, you know? This is what it means to strategize your growth. You must know in what area you need to develop, because this is like life. Your personal development plan is your life plan, how your life is going. And life lessons you don't learn in those subjects you learn in school. It's not mathematics will not teach you. Physics will not teach you how to live your life, how to find joy, peace, happiness, how to stay well in your marriage. Physics will not give you that if you're a physics somebody or a chemistry somebody, you know. And I'll share with you my own story, how I came about what I'm doing right now. Now, when I was this young businesswoman that was just going around doing her business, uh, I had this zeal for the things of God. So I went into theology and I started doing theology in school. And when I finished with the theology, I was serving in my church as a pastor. I was doing all that any normal Christian would love to do, or a pastor. But I realized that there were still some gaps in my life. Life was not giving me what I wanted. There was a thirst, there was a hunger in me that was not really, I realized I was doing a lot, but I was not feeling fulfilled. My joy was not complete. I knew I needed more. So I began to ask questions. I began to seek for more. The more I grew, I knew the questions that I wanted to be asking now. I began to ask questions like, so in what area should I grow? That's how I got into leadership. I realized that, okay, I needed to grow my leadership, because even though you know how to do some things, but life is about how you lead. And it starts with leadership. It starts with how you lead your own self. And then it develops to how you can lead others. And mind you, as mothers that we are leaders. We are natural leaders. You are leading already in your family. It's not by title. The leadership we lead in families or as mothers is not by title. It's just a responsibility that you go into. So I began to ask myself questions. What resources do I really need to get better? What do I need? And where can I get them? These are the type of questions you start asking to strategize your growth. What do you need? Where do I need to grow? What do I need to grow in? What resources, what kind of things do I need? Do I need a coach? What kind of conferences should I attend? How much time should I spend on each area of growth? You know, what experiences do I need to help me grow? And each of these, questions expands your growth or the picture that you have of growth. The more you ask questions, the more your picture of growth begins to expand. Because each time I develop one area, a question will pop up and I will see the next area I need to grow in. I was working with women and I needed to grow my leadership to be able to lead these women better. These were women in church. I needed to lead them well. And then in my course of leading them, talking with them, relating with them on a daily basis, I picked their issues. And then I realized that I needed to grow myself in the area where I will be able to solve the biggest issues that women were facing. That was their relationships. So the more I was asking these, questions and learning and growing, the more I realized, I needed to strategize. And each point in time, I was picking particular areas I needed to develop. And I began to develop them, and the greater my picture of growth was becoming, because I was now you know, being strategic. Like, this is what I need now. This is what I need now. This is what I need. And the journey was continuing. You know, so for growth to be maximized, it must be strategic. It is key. It must be strategic. Because activity doesn't mean accomplishment. So a lot of active people out guarantee productivity. It's not the fact that you are busy that means that you are productive. That is why your growth must be strategic. If not, like I said, you're going to fall into other people's plan. And guess what? There is nothing much others have to offer you, right? Nothing much. You know, in all of this, I learned focus. I learned how to prioritize in everything that I was doing. I learned how to prioritize my time and to do what was important to me when it was needed. Many people live their life, they don't even know what is priority to them. Everywhere you are going, they want to say this one, you are here. Every cry, die, every country meeting, everything. At one time, I had to explain to some of my people in my country meeting that, you know what, Sundays, there are the days that you people have meeting. The one I'm free, I will attend. But most Sundays are working days for me. So I know what is important to me. I know when to be where. I can't be everywhere, that's for sure. Only God can be everywhere. If you don't know your priority, you will suck your energy in the wrong things. I mean, not really like wrong, some are good, but are they priority for you now? Because for me, like I told some of my people, I say, me, I love you guys. Oh, I love being here. But if I fool you, that I'll be here all the time. Priorities. So you must understand, I started understanding my life because I'll see when I wake up, mornings are very important to me. I use my mornings for deep reflections. How do you use your time? That's what it means to strategize growth. Strategizing your growth. What is the best time? Sometimes I wake up very early, like today. Today I was up by 3 a.m. 3 a.m. That's the moment I can sit down, reflect, and do some things. Some days it's 4 a.m. And when I'm not under pressure for any work, I can sleep me till 5. But I know how my days are. Strategize. When is your best hour? So that you don't let other things just interfere with your life. And the next element what I want us to look at is measurement. Measurement. That means, how can I measure and affect my growth? You must be able to measure your growth. That's why every beginning of year, I run this program on goal setting session. I always run programs for goal setting session. And I'm sure I'm going to just keep this goal setting session for queens because I always put it that goal setting session for queens. And, you know, we set goals at the beginning of the year. This is what I want to do in the area of my health. Maybe I want to exercise 3 times a week. This is how I want to do in my family. Maybe we must have a family a weekly meeting maybe every Sunday, and we talk maybe on Zoom if we are all not in the same place. set goals around your family life, set goals around your work life, set goals around your personal development plan. When you set those goals, those are things that can help you to measure your growth. Because if you don't set goals and write the things down, whether you are growing or not growing, you will not know whether you are growing. It's just like, like you give birth to a baby, you're looking at this child every day. You may not notice that the child is growing, but when you set goals and give timing, if you give timing, let me say in 3 months, you go away from that child, you see that in 3 months, the child has grown. So that when you set goals, your goals include timing. In 6 months, this is what I want to achieve. In 1 year, this is what I want to achieve. So you can calculate your growth. Now, I have a number of candidates that I have trained in masterminds, which I can use that to measure my own growth. I have the things I wrote on my personal, my goals for this year that I will achieve. I can go there now and look at the years running to an end. I'll be able to measure my growth and say, oh yes, I said in January I was going to do blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, 3. What or how many of those things? I have it written in my diary somewhere. I just flipped through the other day and I realized that the things I wrote, they are ticked by the grace of God. By the grace of God. I will say the grace of God, because if God doesn't help you and doesn't keep you, you will not be able, you can set goals, but you will not be able to achieve them. So most of the things I put that I will do for this year, God has helped me to do them. I'm able to measure my growth because I'm able to open that book where I wrote them. So goal setting is very, very important. We're talking about strategizing to maximize your growth. You must strategize so that you can maximize. So measurement is good. In 3 months, what do you want to achieve? In 6 months, what do you want to achieve? This is us running to the end of a year. And thank God we are doing what we are doing now, because January is going to begin where you will start setting your own goals. You will start calculating the things you really want to do. You will calculate the things you want to do and give a time frame to the things you want to do. Annie, please, can you check with Emanuela? She's calling me. I don't know what she needs. Can you help me check with her so that she's not distracting me?
All right.
So how will you know what progress you are making until you find some way to track it? So these goals, like I'm talking about, is a way of tracking your progress. Because what gets measured gets done. If you are not measuring what you are doing, you will not do. It encourages even you who is measuring it. It may be difficult to measure your progress, but it is important to measure it. It requires evaluation and reflection over time. It's not overnight. Over time, not overnight. So, like I already mentioned, this baby has, oh, his ears have grown. You don't see daily, but give yourself, I do my yearly. Every year, that's like I just explained to you that, during the goal setting sessions, I'll write down my own goals. And I said, this year I'll do this. Like now, my 2024 is already mapped out. A lady was calling me. She wants me to do some program about what with her church that has not done what. So, but I was giving her, I said, see, this is what I'm doing in February. This is what I'm doing in May. This is what I'm doing in June. So if you want to feed me your program, feed me, so you map out your program so that you're not distracted. If anything is coming up, they should be able to fit into your plan. If not, you fit into every other person's plan and leave your own assignments undone. 3, consistency. How can I grow daily? That's what concerns me. How can I grow daily? So, and it is said that the secret of a person's success is determined by what he does daily, not once in a while. What you do daily. And there is this thing is, I don't know what is Napoleon Hill said this thing. He said, successful people do daily what unsuccessful people do occasionally. I think I put that quote somewhere. Successful people do daily what unsuccessful people do occasionally. So they just come and beep one something, one course, one conference, one, and then go. Let me tell you, I'm sure you've heard this before, that consistency is key. It is truly key when it comes to growth. You have to be consistent for your growth to be evident, for your growth to be maximized, for your growth to be useful. You have to be consistent. So it is a daily job. There's this lady who said, all you have in your hands now. That's one old American president, is Lara Bush. She said, all you have is now. All you have in your hands is now. So, which means that will make use of your now. There will never be another now. What are you doing with your now? And as you work on your now, one day, your now will become a wow, because you are doing it every day. There are things I turn around too, and I looked at my life. They may not be out there yet, but I was like, wow, did I? For instance, the stone of my book, the book that I launched, I was like, really? It's a result of daily discipline, daily something. So it doesn't just come, it doesn't just happen. When I started opening, I said, let me really read, because a lot of people who bought these books and they're reading and reaching out to me, they're like, wow, I'm like, really? What did I? So me too, I was open. While wowing myself, when you make use of your noun, I'm telling you, your noun is going to wow you very soon. You yourself, you'll be like, wow. It takes something that you must do, put something. Now I am very intentional in my pursuit of growth by doing certain things every day. And I will tell you the things I do every day. No, there's nothing. I make my growth a priority. Number one priority. Like a day without growth is a problem for me. So I must read a book. I must pick something. I'm giving you my secrets of growth. I must learn something. Either I read it from a book or
Like there's network issue. Can we hear mommy? Oh, network has kicked her out.
No, I can't hear. I cannot hear her.
No, network has kicked her out. She will have to join back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, before she finds herself back, let's get on the discussion.
Okay, Papa G.
So quickly, she was talking about growth. And for you to maximize growth, you must strategize. So let's quickly review some of the ways you can strategize to maximize growth. What are some of the things that you must do? I think so far I've seen 3 points. Let's
Yes,
open
Papa.
the line. Yeah.
Yeah, there are 3 things that we already saw. She made mention that we should look at the big picture. Where do we want to focus our growth? And then the second one was measurement. The third one is consistency.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk more on that. What about the big picture? What must you do about the big picture? Somebody else. That was great.
On the big picture, Papa D, she said how much time you can spend on each area of your growth. Like for you to have that, yeah. How much time can you spend on it? What mentors should I pursue in order to attain that big picture? How much time should I spend on my growth? Which mentors am I supposed to follow to make sure that I attain that big picture? And what experience do I need to grow? So those are the various things that I must do in order to attain my big picture.
Okay, if I may add also, she also mentioned that the big broad picture here should be that you should have a focus. You must have a focus. You don't just get up and say that, okay, you start studying or you want to learn something that is not even having any use for you, like attending a mathematics class. Now, like this will be of no help to your life. So you have to be focused on what you are doing.
Yeah.
That's powerful. You must find your purpose. I think she shared more of her personal the part to her growth and to not just being generally being a pastor that she was, being a businesswoman that she was. She had to begin to discover herself more. And by focus, by being focused on some strategic areas of her life, because she discovered that she was leading women, but as she was leading the women, she was also looking at herself. And she mentioned a point like personal development or growth in the area of leadership start by leading yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's the big picture. We have seen about the big picture. Let's talk about measurement, measuring of growth. Yes, Annie, I think that you quoted very well. Talk to us about measurement.
Okay, for the measurement, like she was saying, at the beginning of the year, you need to set your goals, what you want to attain by the end of the year. So by measuring now, it's like towards the end of the year, like now, you go back to the goals that you set at first to check if you have really achieved what you stated at the first place or you were out of space. So that's when you know if you were progressing or you did absolutely something different from what you stated at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Powerful. Powerful. Okay, the next point that we saw, if somebody does not have something to chip on that while we're waiting for her to come back, we talk about consistency. For growth to be strategic, to strategize, to maximize growth, you must be consistent. What is consistency? Let's hear some people. What do you hear about consistency?
But yeah, I heard something that it made me, I wrote it down. She said, successful people do daily what unsuccessful people do occasionally. I love that.
Wow. Yeah. That what successful people do
daily. Unsuccessful people do it
on a daily basis.
occasionally. Yes.
Do. Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful. Then she says something like focusing on the now daily.
Yes.
So now your now will become your wow.
Yes. True.
Like when she was writing the book, she was just focusing on doing something daily for the now.
Yeah.
And then
at the end of the day,
the result was just amazing. People at the end of the day, people are reading the book and giving feedback like, wow, they have never read this kind of book. How did she do this? She did this by doing something occasionally, daily. And that's why she said, even if we go back to the issue of measurement of your growth, she said that in measurement of growth, you measure growth over time, over a particular period. Just like a child, you look how the child is growing per time, per a particular period of time, or per a season.
Yes.
But the key is doing something daily.
Okay.
Not only occasionally.
Yes.
Let's hear some other voices.
Thank you, Papa D.
And all?
Mommy is already back.
That's powerful, Papa D. Thank you for stepping up to that. You know, this network, this network not a fear eye.
Not a fear eye. No.
So, not a fear eye. It just be doing one kind. So, but it's well. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. If not, then oh, okay. So I'm trying to see, maybe I should just join from the other device to avoid this on and off. Let me join for I'll step out from here, which means I won't be able to share my screen, but you guys will hear me. Let me join from my phone to make it easier so that we go faster. Okay. All right. Connecting. I think this will be less heavier for the device.
Progress.
Okay.
So let me
leave from this one and
this one now. Yeah,
right. Thank you. When I came back, I heard some powerful voices. I heard Papa D grinding it very powerfully, and that's a sign that you guys are really getting what I'm saying here. So I was saying that you need to make your growth a priority. That's what I did to me. And it is not a one-time off thing. It's not a day. One day, let me do it today, and then tomorrow you forget yourself. Tomorrow you forget yourself. You have to, if growth is a daily thing.
It's a daily assignment. So I do personally is I look for growth opportunities in every situation. There are things happening around us every day that you pick lessons from there and you keep growing from there. So, and then I ask questions that will help me to grow. You know, growth doesn't come looking for me. I must be proactive. I must proactively find it. So you go looking for growth. Don't wait for. It's like somebody sits and wait the promotion in your office, and then you go and learn how fit in that post. No, you have to be proactive. You need to learn, prepare, equip yourself, expand capacity before the promotion comes. So that when promotion comes, you'll be able to handle it. A lot of people just wait. They're waiting for promotion or they're waiting and nothing. While waiting for promotion, they are doing nothing. So you can't be waiting for promotion and doing nothing. You have to be expanding your capacity. You need to keep growing so that when promotion comes, you are already good. You are good to go. You know, it is said when opportunity shows up, it is too late to prepare. So prepare and wait for opportunities. Don't wait for opportunity before you go and prepare. It's too late then. So while you are doing what you are doing now, you may not know the effect. You may not know the impact. You may not know what you are doing to yourself. But there is a day is coming when this thing you are doing now is going to work for you so powerfully. So what I do to strategize my growth is that I file what I learn every day. I put it down. So I'm always writing them. Write them where I can find them. I have books for different subject areas. I just put it there. You know, whenever I need them, I go back and pull them. So you file your ideas, file quotes. You listen to a powerful quote or a good story, you keep it. You file. I used to just listen and think that, oh, I'll remember when I need it. Then I realized that, wow, if you don't file it down, you'll not remember. Put it down, write it somewhere, keep it. Then you go back there, draw strength from there when you need it. So I was just looking in my shelf the other day here, looking at the books I have written with my pen. Man, if you have the opportunity one day, I will show you. Things and my notes that I'm copying from conferences that I've been attending. So I file down everything, I write it down. You know, I was first doing it, just I loved writing, but I became more intentional when I started my growth journey to make sure I write everything down. There are books that I have titled differently to write different stories or quotes or ideas inside. I file them there. And then the next thing I do is I pass it on to others. What I'm learning, I hand down. I'm learning, I'm teaching. I'm learning and I'm teaching. So I'm always thinking about sharing what I discovered because it will reinforce learning and it adds value to the people that you are sharing to. For instance, I have a plan for you guys who are in this counseling course. My plan for you is that you are going to pick a section of all these lessons we've been teaching you, something you love so much, which you have understood very well, and then you can now teach somebody. And I'm going to invite you. That's your practical. I'm going to invite you, the next batch of students, and we are going to gather. First of all, you will teach us from these lessons that you have learned. Because when you don't teach, if you don't release, you will think you know when you really don't know. Honestly, the fact that you got something, it doesn't mean that you have kept it. If you keep it and you don't bring it out, there's no guarantee that you know it. So one of the key things I do with the knowledge that I'm learning is that I pass it. I teach others. I teach others like I'm doing now. So you don't wait that, okay, until I go and have a PhD in marriage counseling before I can start teaching some people. No, where you are good enough. Where you are already above some people. There's something you know that others don't know. So you can start teaching them. that thing that you know. And it's going to help you, first of all. It starts by helping you. And it helps you to grow better. So you ensure to do something every day about your growth. Not someday. You know, some people sleep and just wake up one day and say, okay, let me go and do this thing. They go and do that thing. And then they can stay again for the next 1, 2, 3 years. And that accounts for why they are not growing. It accounts for why promotion will be even hard. But once you start growing daily, I insist on daily, I'm telling you. And that's why I bring this code again. Successful people do daily what unsuccessful people, they will do occasionally. They wait only for an occasion. Then they go for one conference and come and wait till another, I would not even know when again. Something happens again, then they come and do it. Your growth cannot be an occasional deal. Your growth has to be a daily task. You take it, keep doing it daily. Number 4, we're talking about elements to strategize your growth so that you can maximize. So the number 4 thing is application. Can I act on it? Number 4 is application. Who remembers the first 3?
The first 3.
What's the first one?
The big picture.
The big picture. Thank you. What's the second one?
Measurement.
Measurement. Third one?
Consistency.
Beautiful. You're following also. We can make progress because you're following. So, and the 4th one, application. The 4th one is application. So can I act on it now that you have started learning some things? Knowledge doesn't make a person better. It is application that does. Knowledge alone wouldn't make you better. You can learn these things piled in there. It will not do anything unless you start applying them. And these are things I discovered in my leadership trainings. When I started learning, I realized that you just keep piling and piling and piling, and you are not doing anything what you've been learning. And that's how I began making sure that I became more intentional about applying application. Anything that doesn't get or is not put into action remains in theory. But the goal of personal growth is to become better. So you keep it in theory, it doesn't help you to get better. It doesn't help you to get better when it remains in theory. To become better as a person, a parent, a spouse, an employee, or an employer or leader, there must be application. It's helping you to be better as a person. You to yourself, a better person. I just discovered that I was becoming a better person with my personal development journey. In me, myself. It starts with me. It started all with me. I was becoming a better spouse to my husband because of growth. A better wife because of growth. I'm telling you. That's why we are here in the School of Counseling. We cannot just come and be telling you only how marriage can go up and marriage will come down. And you don't learn how to develop you as a person. You can say all those things. If you don't develop you as a person, those things may not really help you because you'll be trying to tell some people how to do what you don't know how to do. So as marriage counselors, the first person you are developing is you. You develop you build you, and you get better as a person, as an individual. So somebody talking with you starts feeling better just by talking with you. Because of the person that you have become. Remember, I said this thing is not just about doing things or what you do, but it's about who you become in the process. The person you're becoming is more important than what you are doing. Because people do a lot of things out there. Now everybody just do the other. It's not just about what you are doing. I'm telling you, what is key here is who you are becoming. You're becoming that better person, that better pastor, that better housewife, that better mother, that better, employer or leader, because we are all leading in one way or the other. If you're not leading in an office, you're leading your home. You're becoming a better leader. When I started doing these things, became a better leader. I could understand my children better. We could flow. They could open up to me because I was becoming a better mother, for real. Sometimes we think we know it because you're a mother. You don't just know things because you're a mother. You know things because you learn and you apply. That's why our class of last week, I said, growing old guarantees, or the passing of time guarantees that you grow old. When time is passing, the only thing it guarantees is that you grow old. It doesn't guarantee that you get better. The only thing that guarantees that you are getting better is that you are growing. And this explains why you meet all people who are very unwise, because they didn't grow. All they can tell you is one old story they knew since 19, who knows? So growth is very key. And to experience growth, we must be active. To experience growth, we must be active. We must be active. And we have to take control of our personal growth. Accept responsibility for it and do something with it. You must take control of your personal growth, accept responsibility for it, and do something with it. When you do this, your experiences around life are different. I mean, somebody will see you and they will not understand. Why are you like that? They don't know something is happening in the inside of you. That's why I like growth. While others may be living small life, you are not. You are not. While others see themselves as victims, we do not, because we are taking responsibility. People have grown and lived their life to be complaining about what somebody did or didn't do for them. So they have an excuse, they have complaints. They're not taking responsibility of their lives. They're still saying what one uncle did or didn't do for them. And that's why they are where they are or not. So when you are growing, your own experiences are different. Your language will be different. The things that happen around you will be different. You will not be playing victim. There are people whose lives, they're only playing victims. Oh, this my uncle did not go up or calm down. Oh, my auntie did this or that. Oh, my mother did not give me this. My father did not. Everybody owes you. And they didn't give you what they were owing you. And so you find those excuses. When you start growing, my goodness. So while others will leave their future in someone else's hands, we will not. Those of us who are growing, you don't leave your future in other hands. You take responsibility. You seize it. While others are going, going through life, are growing. We are growing through life. Others are going through life. We are growing through life. I mean, growth is sweet, my people. Growth is sweet. I'm happy that you took this decision. And this is a key area we'll keep learning at every level in this School of Counseling. We'll keep learning these key leadership aspects of growth. So we are done with those 4 elements, but I want to give us our last lesson around growth, which says that growth is joy. And this is where, I mean, like I can just fly here. Growth is joy. Growth is joy. Growth helps you find meaning in life. And your joy is hidden in your meaning. That's why we say growth is joy. Growth is joy because when you start, you can only find joy when you find meaning. A lot of people, I was sitting in a conference in Nairobi and these words were just dropped in my spirit, and I started writing it in one of the notebooks I had there. I just didn't remember to go back to bed. What I got there was, he said, money versus meaning. I received it. Money versus meaning. So a lot of people are busy in life chasing money, and they feel that once they have this money they're chasing, they will arrive. It means that everything that they have been waiting for is settled. But God opened my eyes to see something. He said, all this quest for money, what they are looking for actually is meaning. And they feel that meaning is in money. So that's the reverse. The reverse is true. The reverse is true. Instead of thinking that your meaning, so let me have money so that I can have meaning. It is the reverse. Your money is found in your meaning. When you find meaning, money will follow you. Kai, Jesus. When you find meaning for your life, you will not struggle for money. You will not struggle for money. When you grow into your mission. That is where your meaning is, your mission, the reason, your why, the reason for your existence. Your why contains your joy. Your joy is hidden inside your reason for existence. Your joy is hidden in your why. Why am I here on earth? That's where your joy is. The day you find out your why, my goodness, you start becoming joyful, and someone will misunderstand you. They'll give different things around why you are the way you are. They don't understand. There is power in purpose. There is power in your purpose. So when you grow into that. That's where you go and develop you. That's where you start finding you. And one man said, recently, he said, the most extraordinary people in the world today don't have career. He says what they have is a mission. And I can tell you this any day, anytime. The people that set out for their missions, for missions in life, those are the extraordinary people. We're still talking about them today. We can talk about Nelson Mandela. He was a man on mission. A man with a mission, and accomplished a lot because he set out for a mission. You can name many of them who are like that. People with a mission, extraordinary people that the world will live to talk about them. It takes growth to get to this level. Find out who you are and why you are here. Find out. And all of this comes with growth. God's promises are not for you. They are for his purpose in you. So all the promises of God, they will be all yours. Once you start aligning with why you are here, you're not going to be struggling to get anything from God. His promises are for his purpose that are within you. This is my secret that I'm sharing with you. This is what I've done, and I continue to find and experience joy. Why? Because I'm aligning with who I am and why I am here. That's where my joy is. Sharing this secret with you, because you will find this very soon if you are not yet there. If you are not yet there, it is for that reason that I want to keep making a difference. I found me, I'm aligning with my mission here on earth, and I want to keep making a difference. So run up. I want to keep making a difference. I never want to stop growing. I want to use my best gifts. I want to keep feeling my calling in what I'm doing. Intentionally, I am creating a legacy, and I am enjoying every bit of what I do. That's where I want to take us to. Where you will grow in joy. You will just be joyful. Somebody will look at you and say, did this one win lottery? They will think that is money. It's not about money, it's about meaning. When your life has meaning, money does not even mean anything to you. That's where we're going to. And that's where I round up tonight with us. I want to throw it to the floor. If you have any question or any contribution or any take home, what is your key take home? Or what was your doubt? Let me share that real quick so that we can round up. Some people have other things to do. I don't want to keep you here forever. Sorry about the network hitches that wasted us some time. I'm sure it would have been done by now. But I needed to put a point on this. Know that personal development is a continuous journey. It is an endless journey. You keep doing it. It is said that when you stop growing, you start dying. So you need to choose which direction to be going. Do you want to be growing or you want to be dying? So people who know this, they don't joke with their growth. There is so much more to learn around personal development and growth. And like I said, I'm proud of you all for being a part of this powerful course, school, mission. And I want you to understand that we are on a mission to make marriages better, to make homes better, to build better relationships. That's why you are here. If you didn't have a burden, and that's how you start identifying your mission. If you didn't have the burden to make sure that even if it's not your own, let others be having a good relationship, you will not be here. You won't be here, honestly. Yeah, so while I'm waiting for you guys to come out, any question or any contribution, any take home, I want to just say this before you come up, that look at all what we are studying. You are going to pick an area there that is of interest to you. You're going to master it because you're going to teach it to us. We're going to sit down and you will just give us that lecture. This is the practicals of our lesson, because we're not learning these things to go and keep. We're learning to teach others. And then as you master it, situations will be coming up on a daily basis or weekly or anyhow. You will just find yourself solving problems around you. You would have gained mastery by even teaching others. Yeah, so let me hear from you, guys. I hope everybody has dropped their picture, because I need those pictures. Waiting for you.
Yes, Mom.
Question, yes, contribution, take home.
Yeah, my take home is your last sentence. And
Okay.
we gain mastery by sharing the knowledge. And it goes to the fourth point on the growth that we talked about, application. And I realized that I've been copying things, listening to videos and copying. But one time I used to ask myself that these things are just compile and file. I never have time to go back to it. It's just there. So what is the use? And as you were talking, I just realized that this thing has to be intentional. Going out, we have to grab opportunities, and I began to be imagining that maybe as we're talking about goals, you could just go and meet maybe a group of persons and just say you have a message, you have something to share, you want to share something with them, maybe in a particular domain. It could be about financial intelligence, it could be about personal growth. So I was like, we need to grow these things intentionally and master it through teaching. Because there are many groups of people everywhere. Sometimes we have even country meetings that people come there, and the only thing they can do is to create a certain jangi like that and be coming and gathering around me. We could transform those meetings where we go to into classrooms and share the knowledge.
Thank you. You got it. Thank you. Transform those meetings into classrooms, because people don't understand that they need to grow. The only thing that what they need is money, is food, is mimbo. So they'll come and talk about money, food, mimbo. Can you imagine? So some of us, as we are learning, will start making a difference in our different places where we go to. We will start making a difference. We'll start making a difference, putting it into use. And we're going to put it here. And I don't want anybody that will pass through us through this course and go and be dormant. So like I'm saying again, pick your domain. If the lesson of water emotional intelligence is what took you much, you think you can teach it, prepare your own notes, master it in a way that you can deliver it. Get ready to deliver a lesson for 40 minutes. All of you, that's the exam we're going to have. Deliver it for 40 minutes. That's our exam for this